Each room has heating, air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and cable. Roosevelt University does have a residency requirement for the first 2 years for English.
Tanner Helen keeps it clearing tap. Right up front and score! Bounce right to Jim quickly. How fitting is that? Jack Quigley with his dad's spirit in the stands. Pass on
Well, it's another beautiful day in Bensenville. It's starting to get a bit colder out, but that just means we're in the middle of hockey season. It's the Lakers and the Cardinals coming up next. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Edge Ice Arena in Bensenville. Another edition of Roosevelt Lakers hockey is coming your way. My name's Andy Poetzinger, filling in for Tom Wistenfeld today for the game between the Roosevelt Lakers and the visiting University of Louisville Cardinals. Let's take a quick look at what's going on with the Roosevelt Lakers, because they're having a little bit of trouble right now. They're on a 5-game losing streak. Take a look right now, starting against Western Michigan. They've had a couple of really tough games where they've lost 4-1, 4-2 against Western Michigan, 2 shutout losses in a row to Hope College, and then a 4-1 loss to Purdue Northwest University. And I did talk to Coach Billy Carr as well, just a little bit before the game to get his thoughts on exactly what's going on right now with his team and how to get it going in the right direction.
All right, upstairs pregame with head coach of the Roosevelt Lakers, Billy Carr. Billy, bit of a tough stretch right now. 5-game losing streak coming into this game, but your boys have played well. What are some of the things that they are doing well but need to kind of just build on a little bit more?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing is we've run into a bit of a slump goal scoring wise, so a lot of it with that is capitalizing on the point blank chances we've got. We're not hitting the net enough, and when we do miss the net, we're missing it high and wide. We're not sustaining forecheck pressure because the puck's going out of the zone or we're breaking out the other team. So a lot of it has just been really focused on hitting the net and getting the second and third chance opportunities. The compete level over the last several games, even though the scores haven't been what we wanted, have been good. Like, we're excited about where we're heading in that aspect. Now if we can cash in offensively a little bit, I think we'll see some things change into our favor for sure.
Got a team coming in today, University of Louisville. They're a brand new Division I squad. What are some of the things that you're seeing on their side that they're doing pretty well? And what are some things that you can also capitalize?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are joining D1 for their first year. I mean, take a look at Hope, right?
Yeah.
Drury last year. There's a lot of really solid Division II teams that, quite honestly, should be playing D1.
Yeah.
So we are not going to take these guys lightly at all. The rankings came out; they're ahead of us. We got to beat them, right? Yeah. We're the underdogs. They've got a really quick and opportunistic forward group. Murray and Brow are guys putting the puck in the net on the regular, so we're going to have to slow them down, quite honestly. Solid goaltending, solid, strong defensive core, so it's going to be a battle tonight.
What's your biggest key to victory today?
Yeah, it's going to be owning both net fronts. And that's something that we have not done a great job of this year, certainly in the last 5 games where, we kind of got away from that aspect, whereas in the first 5 actually, right, the record doesn't lie, right? Like, those were games we were owning those areas. Last 5 we didn't. So I think that's going to be a real huge key for us tonight.
All right, Billy, thank you very much. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, folks.
All right, thanks to Billy Carr for taking a little bit of time to talk with us. And yeah, he's right. University of Louisville, ranked number 45 right now, coming into Bensenville for the first time ever this weekend. This is a program that is a first-year D1 team. but they've been around since about 1996. So they've had a solid start, 10-5-1, 18 of the players on their roster made the jump across the Division II team. So here are some of their top performers: Andrew Murray, Andrew Brown, Noah Malcolm, Brendan Dolinsky, Cameron Morrow, and Jonathan Path are some of the guys who have really led the way for the Louisville Cardinals. Your starting goaltenders today. Noah Merrick is going to get the start for the Cardinals. He's 2-0. He's coming off of a victory against Alabama where he made 52 saves on 54 shots. So had an incredible game. He's also a D2 product. He was 4-2-0-1 last year with the Division II team. Harbor Castle back in between the pipes for the Roosevelt Lakers. He is 3-3-0 with a 470 goals against and an 864 save percentage. Let's send it on downstairs for the national anthem and the drop of the puck. Let's get ready for your starting lineups for the visiting University of Louisville Cardinals. Starting out in between the pipes, as I said, Noah Merrick. On defense, Nick Beeman and Carl Drew are paired together from left to right up front. Andrew Murray, Andrew Brow, and Andrew Nugent, the Andrews. With the starting line for Louisville up front. For your Roosevelt University Lakers, as I said, Harbor Castle once again will get the call for Roosevelt. This defense in front of Brian O'Connell and Tanner Hallett are paired up together. And up front, left to right, Mike Abrego, Danny Bazant, and Jack Quigley. Your official officiating staff for today: referees Brian Dornick and Alex Pro, and the linesmen are Brad Pugh and John Ryan. Lakers looking to snap a 5-game losing streak and get back on the right track as we get ready to head into Thanksgiving. As the puck is dropped, we are underway. Lakers win the opening faceoff. It's O'Connell in his own end. He'll go D-to-D to Hallett. Up ahead for Visage. That pass was at his feet. And the Cardinals will take over. And behind their own net, they'll go up the wall. Held in at the point. O'Connell. The Quigley, his turnaround shot goes through the slot and out the other side. Back up top it goes for O'Connell. Hops over his stick. He'll have to chase back in the neutral zone for him. Checking now is Andrew Brown. In his own end, cross-ice pass through the neutral zone. Got deflected. The Dodge will carry on for the Lakers. He'll hit Quigley, who gets to the red line and will dump it in. Lakers get a wholesale line change. Carl Drew coming through the neutral zone. Will cross over the red line. Was stood up there by Martino right at the blue line. Cardinals have to chase back, and they'll dump it on in. Owen Lopez spinning away from a check. has to go out the opposite side, hoping for Kohler Crozier. Beating him there was Nick Beeman. He keeps the play alive. Ethan Ducey here at the near point. Now Malcolm at the blue line. His wrist shot, a sliding block there by Drake Adams. And the puck comes out to center ice and into Cardinal territory. Out to play it is Merrick. That goes out to center ice, and Lozanak for the Lakers will control it. Comes right back in on Merrick. This time he will play it smart and get a whistle stopping play with a minute and 35 seconds gone in period number 1. You heard Coach Billy Carr talking about it at the start of the broadcast in our interview. Want to win the front of both nets. And typically, when you win what's going on in front of your own net, when you win your own zone first, that means that good things are going to happen back the other way. It's a turnaround shot. Castle able to make the save and hang on. Puck bounced right out into the slot, and Harbor Castle right on top of this crease, able to come on out, make the butterfly save, and give up no rebounds. Off the draw, it's in the corner. Cardinals will wrap it around to the opposite side. It's Robert Bird. He'll come out to the blue line for Ducey. His wrist didn't make it through. And Karowski will take it back for the Lakers and move it up ahead for Kevin Euler. Euler around a check. Nice drag move. Lost his balance, however. Has it on the backhand, threw it towards the net. Got blocked into the corner. Cleared up the wall. Salmona keeps it in. Redirect the score! Redirect in front. Right off the stick of Kevin Euler. And Roosevelt off and running. They're up 1-0. Shot from the blue line by Mikey Salmona. And a good job going to the front of the net by Kevin Euler. Got a stick on it, redirected it in between the legs of the goaltender to make it 1-0. There you hear Kevin Euler at the 17:42 mark of the first period. Euler picking up his 4th goal of the year. Good start for Roosevelt. The long shot from the blue line that sails wide. O'Connell is there to chase after it. Clary attempt to flex off of a couple of legs. Ends up getting pinned up along the wall in front of the Lakers bench. O'Connell ends up getting out of there with it, but stick checked was Hallett as he tried to exit the zone. Now Morrow in behind his own net. We're going to get a whistle stopping play. A penalty coming up to Louisville in the offensive zone. So not the greatest penalties to take if you are Louisville, but the Lakers will take it. With 16:55 left to go here in period 1. Going to be a tripping call going to Jacob Zima. Cleared off the face-off and all the way down. Now Abrego back the other way. Abrego holding on to it and behind the net. Walk out to the opposite side, go up to the blue line for Hallett. That's a Lopez. Back to Abrego. The shot didn't make it through. Lays there in the slot. Here's Quigley's turnaround try. That gets knocked aside by Merrick. Lakers keep the play alive. Bowen Lopez goes D to D for Kevin Euler, the goal scorer. Cross ice speed for Abrego. Didn't make it through. He'll pick it back up again. That's Mike Abrego going back out to the blue line for Lopez. For Euler, back to Mike Abrego. He comes up top. There's a snapshot from Lopez that got redirected on its way through. Clearing tap. Nice job keeping that in by Lopez. Good hustle. Back to Mike Abrego. Near side. Quickly try to shot pass through the trees to Kohler Crozier, but it went right through his legs. Once again, Lopez holding the point for Abrego here near side. Found its way to the crease. They score! I believe Yes, it is. Jack Quigley picks up the rebound, and the Lakers on the power play strike to make it 2-0. What a start to the hockey game for Roosevelt. Here, Mike Abrego getting an assist on that. That is now his 4th point of the season. And for Jack Quigley, that's goal number 4 on the year. Breaks a streak of no goals in his last 6 games. So Coach Carr talking about how his team's having a little trouble finding the back of the net. Not even 5 minutes into this hockey game, they've got 2 goals. There's a shot from the blue line. Good stop there by Castle. Saw it all the way as the shot came off the stick of Jonathan Cohen. And both teams will now get a line change. And we talked in the pregame about winning the front of the net at both ends of the spectrum, your defensive zone and in the offensive zone. Both the goals for the Lakers right at the top of the crease. That's where they want to make their home in this hockey game, it looks like, is crash to the net and get right to the top of the crease. Working out pretty well for them so far as they're up 2-0. Dumped into the Cardinal zone, Watterson. Then a board battle. 4-on-4, excuse me, 2-on-2, a 4-man scrum ensues. Coming out to help is Lucas Kurowski. Pops free to the Cardinals. Take it away out in front. Kurowski, oh, big save. What a job on the back check there by Kevin Euler. Able to strip his man to the puck. Threw it right out into the slot for Kurowski, who was waiting. And his one-timer goes right into the breadbasket of Noah Merrick. We'll get another whistle stopping play. Lakers hard on the puck there below the goal line. Good strip and pass right out in front by Euler. And unfortunate that Kurowski was in a little bit tight there. Couldn't get a lot of elevation on that puck. Clearing attempt held in. Pinching in to keep the play alive is Tim Pickrell, who had the only goal of the game last weekend against PNW in the 4-1 loss. Gabe Kruger spinning away from a check. He'll drop it off. Coglianese had it stripped off of his stick, but Salmona carries on into the offensive zone. Pass on front for Coglianese. That went off the end of his stick into the wall. Battling there is Kruger. Now Coglianese coming in to help out. Pulled away by the Cardinals. Robert Bird. They'll move it over for Helinski, and out to center ice they come. Bryce Yates will chip and chase around the check. Tanner Halleck cuts him off in behind. A battle for it below the goal line and pulled out of there by Mike Abrego, and out to center ice they come. Here's Abrego, 2-on-3. Nice couple of moves around a check, but Nick Beeman stayed with him the whole time. Did not allow Abrego to get towards the front of the goal, and it's cleared out to the neutral zone. Offsides are the Lakers here as Quigley just a step over the line. Abrego was trying to get himself back over. Could not do so in time, and we'll get a whistle stopping play. 13-12 left to play here in period 1. Lakers lead it 2-0. On a goal by Kevin Euler right at the top of the crease on a redirected shot from Mikey Salmona. And a power play goal off of a scrum in front by Jack Quigley. The Lakers are on fire here as we get another shot on net. This from Abrego, right in between the hash marks. That's gloved down and held by Noah Merritt. Mentioned the Lakers are on a bit of a losing streak right now as Abrego at the goal line here holds on to it. Turnaround shot towards the net, gets blocked in behind. But Louisville is also coming off of 2 straight losses of their own against Davenport. So they are also looking to try to get off the schneid here and get back to their winning ways. They come into the Edge Ice Arena with a 10-5-1 record, 29 points, which is good for second in the ACCHL, 11th in the ACHA, although they're only ranked number 45 overall. The first computer rankings coming out yesterday. But two teams both having a couple of issues right now, trying to get back on the right track. The Lakers are getting the better of the Cardinals here in the first almost 8 minutes of the hockey game. Ozenak in his own end will chip around his check. Outlet pass for Drake Adams to take the bounce off the wall and come in over the blue line. Adams will wrap it around in behind. He's hoping to get Crozier, but Crozier was beaten to it, clearing attempt, held in at the far blue line. Crozier now in behind, kicks it to his stick. Chasing after it, he battles with Nico Anestis. Adams got taken down, and Anestis will come out to the neutral zone. He'll chip it in. Ozenak takes a hit, but ties up his man, so Martino could pick up the puck and throw it up ahead for Adams at the blue line. Adams walking in, shooting, and a good stop made by Merrick at the top of his crease. Rebound comes back to the Lakers. Good forecheck here. Lakers get control of the puck. D to D they go. Long shot from the blue line right into the stomach of Merrick, who had a good look at it. He will hang on. 11:26 to play in period number 1. The Lakers up 2-0. They're on the Louisville Cardinals. Great look there from the Lakers just a moment ago as Drake Adams, who was taken down in the play just prior to that. A good look up ahead, found him at the blue line waiting. He was able to walk in. He kind of started from zero, so he didn't really have much momentum going into the offensive zone, but was able to get a good shot away, and Merrick at the top of his crease was able to beat him. Off the draw, wrist shot, good stop, Merrick, as Karowski was able to pick that one up right off the draw. Throw it on net. You can hear Billy Carr there in the background get some movement. Wants to see his guys floating around in the offensive zone. Cleared out to center ice by the Cardinals. Watterson will chase after it. He'll go D to D. Cleared all the way back out into Cardinal territory. Brendan Helinski has some trouble with Karowski around the far wall. Cardinals will try this near side. Salmona pitches down to keep the play alive, and then the Cardinals bounce it out to center ice. Puck comes over to Andrew Murray. Drag move around the check, shooting one, and he just missed the near post. Andrew Murray able to drag around a sliding check with, I believe, Abrego. That's Mark Abrego, Mike's brother. Threw a shot towards the net, but missed on the glove side. Clearing attempt held in by the tall Brendan Helinski, 6'3", able to keep that play alive. Now Andrew Brown will drop it off. Taking on Andrew Murray. His long shot from the point was knocked down on its way through, and the Lakers, after a block shot, will send it out to the neutral zone. Here's Karowski. Inside out on a check, trying to get towards the goal and coming out to cover that is Noah Merrick. As he did so, Karowski had to hurdle over him to try to not knock into him. It looked like he was able to evade him for the most part, but got a decent chunk of Noah Merrick anyway, who is now back up on his feet. No arms are up either, so no penalty call coming here. And the Lakers will have an offensive zone draw. The Louisville trainer coming out just to check in on Noah Merrick to make sure everything's all right. You always want to make sure if there's anything close to a head collision, you want to check that player out. Make sure there's no damage. He's not woozy. Draw's going to go to the right-hand side of Noah Merrick. Off the draw, the Cardinals will control. It's Nick Beeman. They'll throw it up through the neutral zone to the far blue line. Reading that was Tanner Hallett. Cardinals get it back and get it into the Laker territory, but once again, the Lakers are quick to get it out. This time, Tyler Dutroux will dump it in and force Harbor Castle to play it along. Good breakout here for the Lakers as it gets in the stick of Timothy Pickrell. Pickrell trying to get around a check backhands and towards the net. Rolls in on goal, and Merrick will get a glove on that with 9.5, just a little over 9.5 to go here in period one. Ace on the draw here. We'll send it to the wall. Clearing attempt held in. Coglinace got in the way. Second try gets out to center ice. Then right back in by Kruger. Bounces to Tim Pickrell, who's on the backhand, trying to go short side with that. Ended up going off the outside of the net. Clearing attempt held in by Hallett there at the far blue. He'll send it down low. Beeman will throw it back up for the Cardinals. Knocks it onto the stick of Jonathan Patch, who's able to settle it down. Danny Bazach will carry it out to center right. Bazach will fight off a couple of checks. Pass up ahead for Hallett was a little out of his reach, and Lakers now offside, have to tag up. Tanner Hallett, first man on this forecheck as a defenseman here. Sometimes he does play forward, but tonight is not one of those nights. They'll get back into his typical position as the Cardinals reset here at center ice. Taken on by Joshua Nardi. They'll cross over the blue line, throw one towards the net, deflects off the stick and hits the glass. Pulled up by Bowen Lopez. His clearing attempt does not go. Held in by Yates. He was knocked off the puck, and Mike Abrego comes out to center ice. Able to fight off Ethan Ducey. Gets into the offensive zone, then was knocked off the puck, and the Cardinals will backhand it through center ice and out the other way. Through the neutral zone come the Lakers, quickly able to get around his check. Lost control of the puck, but chases after it in behind. Booger will come out of there with it in the corner, look out towards the blue line. There's Hallett, his wrist shot blockered out. Good stop there by Merrick. As it goes up and out of play, and I apologize, that's Bowen Lopez who took that wrist shot. 26 and 28 look awful close from up here, so I'll do better to make sure that that's actually Bowen Lopez. 2-0 Lakers, 7:43 to go in the first period. They've really held the pace of play so far for the first 12.5 minutes, just about. Certainly an ideal start for Billy Carr's crew. There's Morrow over the line. Lost control of the puck. Cleared out of there by the Lakers. Martino chasing after it. He's up against Helinski. Martino trying to tie up his stick. Is coming to help out now is Adams. Adams trying to pull out and look for that puck that's in between some of the skates. He's also fielding a couple of back checks there from Jacob Zima. Or cross checks, I should say. Finally, it pops free. Martino has it in behind, looking in front. Oh, he had Adams. But Adams just vacated the area, and it was a little out of his reach. Now Martino on the far side goes out to the blue line for Hallett. Martino holding on to it, cross ice speed, well out of the reach of the Lakers, and Louisville will clear. Martino throws a check in the neutral zone on Nugent. Helps his team regain control of the puck. Lopez will drop it off to Lozenak. Lozenak looking up ahead for Crozier at the blue line. He was unable to get too much further than that. The Cardinals stripped at center ice by a good stick of Watterson. And Adams will dump it in and get off for a line change. In the Cardinal end, D to D they go. Beeman will end up going off the glass and out to center ice into the waiting hands of Mark Abrego. Attempt goes off the tip of the glass. They look out downstairs. Steve Hayes sitting there in the scorer's box almost took that one off the top of the head. Watterson will be careful there. Nearly went in front of his own net, but dropped it off just in time. Now Kurowski will hit Watterson in the neutral zone. He'll settle this puck down, walk in and throw a shot towards the goal, deflects off a stick. He'll pick it up in behind and try to throw it out to the blue line. That was read and intercepted by Andrew Murray. Cross ice feed, deflects up into the air. Andrew Nugent down low. Pass out in front for Nugent, was blocked away. Nugent now will leave it for Joshua Nardi, who walks in shooting. Good save there by Castle through a screen. Able to get the right pad out. Andrew Murray back to the blue line. Nardi there, his wrist shot blocked out in front. The clearing attempt goes all the way down, and the race for icing will be won by Louisville. There's a couple of tired Lakers out there. This line of Watterson, Kurowski, and Euler has been out there for quite some time for the Lakers. So the deep pairing has two, Salmona and Abrego. So they're going to want to try to get this off the glass as soon as they can and get a quick line change. They'll win the face-off and move it out to center ice. Here's Kurowski. They'll hit Euler as Kurowski goes off for a change. That's just the rest of the Lakers. Euler around a couple of checks, shooting one. Oh, and a good stop by Merrick is Kevin Euler stick handling that. Nearly lost control of it a couple times and ended up getting control of it fully by the goal line and threw a bad angle shot on net. Sometimes those are decent shots as the goaltender is almost swimming by that point. You get to catch him a little off balance and out of position. Sometimes it takes a friendly hop and goes in. Then pick roll. Pass out in front of Flex. Palla tried to keep that in, but it's pushed out to center by Noah Malcolm. Malcolm with a man driving toward the goal. Good job by Hallett to stay on top of his man. Threw him into the net. Knocks the net off its moorings, and we'll get a whistle. Hallett, after he made a somewhat questionable pinch there at the blue line, you want to make sure you're 100% there, and he was unable to keep that in. Was able to make up for his mistake by a hard back check, taking his man out. Only thing there is you don't want to end up sending him into your goaltender and injuring your goaltender. Face off to the left of Castle. Won by the Cardinals. Wrist shot. Bobbled there by Castle off the stick of, or the shot from Patch, who's got it again. His shot from the blue line is sent to the corner. Tanner Hallett behind his own net. Outlet feed out to center ice. Misses, but bounces right to Kruger. Bounces it over the net. That rolled on him at the last second. Kruger sent it right over the goal. He'll hold on to it now. Gabe Kruger looking at his options. Tried to go back to O'Connell at the point, but getting in the way of that was Patch. And Malcolm for the Cardinals will hit Patch here on the near side. Patch with a man driving to Malcolm. Backdoor. What a save by Castle. Oh, Harbor Castle was moving to his right. Ended up having to stop and stretch all the way to his left. Got it with his toe. And keeps this a 2-0 hockey game. What a feed that was from Jonathan Patch to find Noah Malcolm coming right down the slot. Malcolm went forehand, backhand. And Harbor Castle stayed with him the whole time. Lakers will clear and send it out to center ice. Picked up by Bowers. He'll come up ahead. Holton, was knocked off the puck and Quigley back the other way. Quigley on the far side walks and shoots one. Deflects off the stick and hits the glass and wraps around. Cardinals will move out 3-on-3. Robert Bird dropping it off. A wrist shot easily sent to the corner there by Castle. And we're going to get a penalty here, this time on the Lakers. That there's 3:11 left to go in period number 1. Lakers going to go to the penalty kill for the first time today as Lozanak is going to take a seat. He'll stop for a holding call. So Lakers penalty kill will go to work. Penalty kill. And has struggled at home against some really good hockey teams. There's a shot they score. Walking in was Noah Malcolm. Able to rip that one through his screen and beat Harbor Castle. Cardinals have made it a 2-1 hockey game. With 3:04 left to go in the first period. Malcolm, after getting robbed just a few moments ago, comes down and puts his 9th goal of the season up on the board. And for Malcolm, that is now 6 goals in his last 8 hockey games. He is on a tear right now as Noah Malcolm. Cardinals control off the faceoff. We'll dump it in. Here's a 2-on-1 possibility for the Lakers. Martino tried to pass across. And Crozier going to the net. Couldn't get it to him. And the Cardinals will settle things down. Carl Drew, will send this one in. Castle will set it up to Salmona. Drake Adams around to check. Will move through the neutral zone over the logo. Got stripped of it there at the blue line. Coming back is Mark Abrego to knock that away. And Crozier back the other direction. And behind the Cardinal net. He'll hold on to it. Try to cycle it down low, but reading that was Drew. He was right on him, and he skates out to center ice. Carl Drew over the line. His wrist shot got blocked. Now another try here from Zima. Stopped by Castle. He'll find the rebound, jump on top of that. We get a little fisticuffs in behind between Adams and Nico Anestis, and looks like we're going to have at least one guy going to the box here for sure. It's going to be Adams. And we are going to be 4 aside now, 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. So Adams and Jacob Zima will start in the box in the second period. Face off, going to end up going to the left-hand side of Harbor Castle. Off the draw, Cardinals control. At the blue line, pass down low is taken away by O'Connell. Bouncing puck in center ice, settled down here by the Cardinals. Joshua Nardi. Pass over to Brown, was out of his reach. Lakers clearing attack, bounces at the blue line. Cleared up ahead for Euler. He couldn't control it. And Hallett at the far red line. We'll move it over to Euler. Euler holding on to it as Hallett at the net. We'll drop it down low for Tanner Hallett. He'll set up shot behind the goal line. In front, they score! What a pass from Tanner Hallett to find Euler coming right down the slot. And Kevin Euler with the net getting pushed off its moorings still goes bar down. It's 3-1 in favor of the Lakers. Kevin Euler with his second goal of the period has given the Lakers their 2-goal lead back. Shot that goes off the side of the net. Picked right back up again by Drew. He'll send it down low. Patch. Or Noah Malcolm, the goal scorer for the Cardinals. Malcolm spinning away from Bazach. Now Drew, again to Malcolm, moving towards the middle of the ice, but lost control of the puck. And Lozanak will come off the wall and out to center ice. Abrego could not toe the line, and it ends up being an offside on the Lakers. Both teams will get a pair of new skates out there, 4 new skates on each side. Finish out with some fresh legs. Martino out there with Salmona and Kurowski and Tanner Hallett for the Lakers. Kurowski in his own end here will throw a pass up ahead for Martino, who's got some wheels. 1-on-2. He's going to wait for some players to come and help out. Martino in the corner. It's pinned up along the wall, pulled out of there by Beeman. And Beeman, with 10 seconds left on the clock, is clearing attempt to flex off the stick. Nugent carries on, loses it to Martino. Salmona shot from the line. Glove save made by Merrick, and he'll hang on with, 6/10 of a second left to go in the period. Castle will go to the bench. There's going to be 5 attackers on, an extra attacker for the Lakers. Kevin Euler going out there. He's going to be right behind Martino, tries to throw this on net. Got tied up, and that's how the first period will come to an end. So the Lakers with a 3-goal outburst here in the first period. Started out early with Kevin Euler picking up a goal. His 4th goal of the season on a redirect right at the top of the crease on a shot from Mikey Salmona. And then just about 2 minutes later, on the power play, Jack Quigley, off of a net front scramble, pulled the puck free and was able to beat the prone goaltender to make it 2-0. Louisville would answer the power play goal of their own with 3:04 left to go in the period. A missile off the stick of Noah Malcolm, his 6th goal in the last 8 games. Made it 2-1 and 4-on-4. Tanner Hallett had the puck in behind the net, found Kevin Euler driving right down the middle of the ice. He went upstairs, up over the glove of Merrick, and it's 3-1. We will be back with the second period of play right after this. You're watching Roosevelt Lakers hockey.
From our first day, Roosevelt has been a place for all. Before it was widely accepted, Dr. Edward Sparling stood for social justice. When asked to take a racial and religious census, he simply responded, "We don't count that way." And 62 faculty members walked out with him. Together, they founded Roosevelt University, a place for you to belong.
Welcome to our tour of Roosevelt University's athletics and performing arts spaces. We'll cover the dedicated rehearsal and performance venues in the auditorium, as well as the Lillian and Larry Goodman Center, our athletics facility. The Barry Crown Fitness Center is located on the 5th floor. It is available to all Roosevelt University students, as well as faculty and staff. There are men and women's locker rooms and a family locker room. The fitness center includes treadmills, stairmasters, stationary bikes, ellipticals, circuit machines, and free weights, as well as a fitness studio. The fitness floor is raised to minimize sound and vibrations below from the exercise bikes and treadmill. The Lillian and Larry Goodman Center is home to our men's and women's basketball and volleyball teams. Roosevelt is the only university downtown with an athletic facility. All of our teams use the space to train and practice, and open gym hours are open to all RU students. This is Roosevelt's multi-purpose gym. The retractable bleachers seat 500 people. There are 6 retractable basketball hoops and 2 courts for simultaneous practice sessions. Ropes on either side of the gym connect nets in order to create indoor batting cages for softball or baseball practice. There's also a turf that rolls out. Fun fact, In 2012 and 13, our women's basketball team qualified for nationals after only 3 seasons of play. It just goes to show how dedicated and passionate our student athletes are, as well as our coaches and athletic staff. Roosevelt's Chicago College of Performing Arts is located in the Auditorium Building. Built in 1890, the building was originally a multi-use building including a hotel, 136 offices and businesses, and the 3,700-seat Auditorium Theater. The Auditorium Theater hosts dance companies, Broadway musicals, concerts, and community events. Some famous acts that have played there include Elton John, Trace Adkins, and recently Chicago's own Chance the Rapper. RU students can receive 2 student rush tickets for most auditorium performances as little as $15. RU graduation is also held in the theater. The Auditorium Building is also home to dedicated practice and performance spaces for students in the music and theater conservatories. Gons Hall used to serve as another banquet hall for the VIP hotel guests. Today it is used for special events, lectures, ceremonies, recitals, auditions, and receptions. The entire room underwent significant restoration to return it to its original splendor. The O'Malley Theater seats 240 people and is used for major student productions, usually 6 to 8 per year. Students at RU can get free tickets for most shows. We hope to see you catching a sporting event or performance at Roosevelt real soon. Welcome to our Residence Life Tour of Roosevelt University. In this video, we'll visit the student residences in Roosevelt's Wabash Building, starting at the 14th floor and working our way up. The Wabash Building is 469 feet tall, making it the 6th tallest university building in the world and the 2nd tallest university building in the country. Floors 14 through 31 of the Wabash Building are primarily for residential life. Suites can house anywhere from 4 to 7 residents. Not every room is the same size or layout. Some suites have a quad room and 3 private rooms. Each room has heating, air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and cable. Roosevelt University does have a residency requirement for the first 2 years for incoming freshmen, but there are certain exemptions. National studies show that students that live on campus are more successful academically and feel more connected to the university. The 14th floor houses the Office of Residence Life, a student lounge, recreation room, kitchen, and student mailboxes. The rec room is an open student lounge where students are free to spend time. There are 2 TVs on the 14th floor. Both have free access to Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime Video for students. Campus safety is present 24/7 on the 14th floor and the 1st floor. Students must use their RU ID cards to get into the residence halls and to access individual floors. This is an added layer of security for our students. The laundry room on the 15th floor includes 20 washing machines and 22 stackable dryers. Laundry is free for all residents. On floors 20 through 31, there is a study room on the east side of the floor. This study and meeting area is open to all students on the floor. From here, you can see landmarks such as Buckingham Fountain, the museum campus, Navy Pier, and Grant Park. On the 2nd floor of the Wabash Building, the McCormick Dining Center can seat up to 300 guests. There are a variety of food stations, like organic food, Italian, American, and vegetarian, and a smart market that offers a wide selection of bottled beverages and snack items, as well as health and beauty products. A meal plan is required for students living in the Wabash Building. The all-you-care-to-eat plan includes 14 meals a week and 500 flex dollars per year. You'll love living in the Wabash Building. Welcome to the Student Involvement Tour at Roosevelt University. In this video, we'll explore the spaces on campus for more than 50 student organizations. The Chicago campus is in the South Loop Educational Corridor, where about 60,000 students attend school. Roosevelt's total enrollment is about 4,500 students. 60% are undergraduate students, while the remaining 40% are graduate or doctoral students. Not only are there endless opportunities for students in a city like Chicago, but history has literally happened right outside our doors. In 1968, Roosevelt students and professors left class in order to experience history in the making during the Democratic National Convention riots. Similarly, in 2008, students saw history being made as President Obama gave his election victory speech in Grant Park. Just as exciting are the different festivals that take place in Grant Park, such as the Jazz Fest, Blues Fest, Lollapalooza, and the Taste of Chicago. The first 5 floors of the Wabash building are reserved for student services, the dining center, fitness center, and student life activities. The 3rd floor is a common lounge and social space for students and student resources. It includes a pool table, foosball table, and a TV lounge with Netflix. It also has spaces for different student organizations. The Center for Student Involvement supports student organizations, leadership development, community service, and new student orientation. There are over 50 active organizations to get involved in, including academic and cultural clubs, as well as Greek life. The Center for Student Involvement also facilitates leadership workshops and programming, which is a great opportunity for students to develop their leadership skills. Roosevelt University reinstated its athletic program in 2010. These teams currently compete in the NAIA Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference. These teams include men and women's basketball, baseball, softball, men and women's soccer, men and women's tennis, men and women's volleyball, men's golf, men and women's cross country and track and field, football, men and women's bowling, and men and women's ice hockey. Roosevelt also offers intramural and recreation programs that are open to students, faculty, and staff. Other opportunities include competitive cheerleading and dance, performing arts, and the emerging realm of esports. We can't wait for you to get involved. Welcome to our tour of the Roosevelt University Academic and Academic Support Spaces. The Chicago campus has 2 academic buildings, the Auditorium Building and the Wabash Building. We call the Wabash Building a vertical campus because the offices, classrooms, and residence halls are in one tall building in downtown Chicago. The Wabash Building is split into 3 different sections. Floors 6 through 13 of the Wabash Building are for academic classrooms, laboratories, and offices. Some classrooms seat close to 80 people, while other classrooms in this building can hold anywhere from 20 to 105 students. Our student-to-faculty ratio is 11 to 1, which means you will have the chance to get to know all of your professors individually. Lecture halls are used mostly for general education classes. As you take more advanced courses in your major, you are more likely to see smaller class sizes for a more intimate experience. Classes are taught by professors, not teaching assistants. 85% of our faculty have the highest degree in their field. They also conduct research or are still active professionals. The Walter E. Heller College of Business resides on the 10th, 11th, and 12th floors. The floors contain faculty and classrooms, including a trading floor classroom. Floors 7, 8, and 9 are devoted to science education and research, housing state-of-the-art modern laboratories. These include 3 labs for faculty and student research in biology and chemistry, 6 teaching labs for biology, chemistry, and physics, a tissue culture lab, and a microscopy lab and support facilities. The 3rd floor houses the Office of Career Development. This is a great research.
We welcome you back to the Edge Ice Arena here in Bensenville, Illinois, as the Lakers take a 3-1 lead into the second period as we take a look at the recap. I should say 3-1, not 4-1, my apologies. Shots were 16-9 after 1 period of play. Euler with his 4th and 5th of the year. Jack Quigley with his 4th. And Noah Malcolm on the other side picking up his 9th. Like I said, he is on a tear right now, Noah Malcolm. 6 goals now in the last 7 games played. So making sure that Lakers keep an extra eye on number 7 in black. Shots, like I said, 16-9 in favor of the Lakers. Those 9 shots of the Cardinals, not many, but there have been times where Harbor Castle has had to be absolutely brilliant in between the pipes there for the Lakers. So Harbor Castle get back to his normal form. And we'll start out 4-on-4 here for the next 5 seconds. And then we'll get both guys out of the box. That's Jacob Zima and Drake Adams for the Lakers in the penalty box. Start out the second period. Only 2 penalties, 1 on each side, or power play opportunities, I should say, 1 on each side there in that first period. Both teams were able to cash in on them. Let's see what special teams look like in the second period as the teams switch sides. Lakers will now be going from left to right. Period of the long change, so there's always the conversation between the periods of make sure that your shifts are short. You're not getting caught out there for too long and making any bad line changes, forcing your team to play from behind, basically. As we are underway in period number 2. Beeman, his clearing attempt is held in by the Lakers. Hallett now in the neutral zone. His cross-ice feed deflects off of a stick. Taken on by Drew. He'll hit his deep partner and out to the neutral zone they come. Good stick there by Danny Bazach to stand up his man. Brown in the neutral zone moves it up ahead of Brago for quickly. Oh, a good save made by Merrick, who was falling down. Was able to get the leg down in time and then makes another stop here on Danny Bazach. Oh, Noah Merrick trying to shuffle over from his right to his left. Looked like his skate got caught in a bit of a rut, and he went down, was able to readjust enough to get the glove underneath him and swipe that away. Brilliant stop there by Noah Merrick, his best of the game so far. Good opening shift from the Lakers. They'll respond with the Martino line. He's out there with Crozier and Adams, with Lopez and Lozanak on the back end. Here come the Cardinals. Patch across ice speed, trying to hit Detroit, who is coming right down the slot. We're going to get a penalty here on the Lakers, it looks like. A hooking call. Going to go to Martino. So the Louisville power play, which scored just, 4 seconds into the penalty? 6 seconds, pardon me. The end of the penalty will end up going to work for a second time. Right off the back, Crozier is able to pick it up, take it away, and clear it down. A power play for the Lakers. I was saying this before, but I got rudely cut off by a Louisville goal. But this penalty kill has struggled at home as Bazach is into the backhand. A big save made by Merrick. Someday I'll get this stat out, I swear. Finally, the Cardinals will control. So they played a lot of good teams here on home ice. Western Michigan, Illinois, Hope. And the penalty kill really kind of struggled on home ice. 12 out of 20 they've killed off. That's only 60%. So on the opposite side of things, the power play for Louisville has also really struggled big time. They're only clicking at 7.9% on the season, 10 out of 127 chances. So power play for Louisville really struggling. Penalty kill for the Lakers on the up and up. And of course, wouldn't you know it, penalty kill or the power play for Louisville is 1 for 1 already. Here's the man that scored it, Noah Malcolm, spinning away from a check, goes out to Drew at the blue line. Now in the corner, it's Morrow. Going back out to Drew, that's intercepted. Watterson trying to come in from the blue line. Good job on the back check by Carl Drew to swipe it off of Watterson's stick. Otherwise, that was a breakaway from the blue line in. A poke check here in the neutral zone by Micah Brago. Another good stick there by Salmona, making life hard for the Cardinals. As there's 15 seconds left to go on the penalty. Out to the blue line it goes. Here's Carl Drew. His wrist shot. Whistles just wide on the glove side. Nardi keeps it in at the high point. Comes back to Drew. His one-timer saved by Capsule. Rebound. Pops up into the air. He's able to shrug it away, and it comes back to him. And he'll hang on to it just as time expires on the penalty. Castle made the first save. The rebound was there, was able to get a pad on the second shot, and it bounced straight up into the air. He was able to track it, knock it down with his blocker, and ended up making a third stop with his glove. That one was the final one, which brought a whistle. Penalty killed off for the Lakers. They're now 1 for 2 on their penalty kill. That one looking a whole lot better than the first. Pickrell. He and Bird go colliding, and Bird's stick ended up going a country mile. He now picks it up, and of course the puck is right there. He couldn't corral it, though, and Tanner Hallett trying to shield the puck away from a check. Lost control of it to Tim Holton. Clearing attempt from Hallett gets knocked down on its way to the blue line. Sent cross ice for Pickrell. He'll go off the base of the boards and into Cardinal territory. Beeman the first one after it there. He'll set up shop in behind his own net, spinning away from Cogley in eighth. Sent up the wall and back into the Roosevelt zone where Castle will move it over for Hallett. Coming out to help. That's Kruger. Misfired pass leads to a possible break back the other way for the Cardinals. It is. It's Bird. He's in. He scores. Robert Bird looked like he was going to feed that puck across. Got Castle sliding over. Ended up having a whole wide open net, and he puts it home. And Louisville has once again cut it down to a 1-goal deficit. Robert Bird with his second goal of the year. Bird with an assist from Bowers, and it's 3-2 Lakers. Driving into the goal is Anestis, and Castle stayed with him the whole time. Got it with the left pad. There's Lopez through the neutral zone. He drops it to Bazach around a check. Bazach shooting one. Oh, and a good block off the leg of Helinski. Bazach settles down a bouncing puck. Will throw it back to Lozenak. Now Danny Bazach throwing it up for Abrego. Trying to chip it around a check, but it was knocked down out of midair. Quigley intercepts in the neutral zone. Jack Quigley protecting the puck will come out to the blue line. Lozenak, caught him in between. He was on the backhand and couldn't really settle that puck down. And it goes out to the neutral zone where the Lakers will take it and send it. The Lakers will take it and send it in, Go off for a line change. Lozenak chasing after it in his own end. Murray takes a turnaround shot from the bottom of the circles, and Castle is there down in the butterfly. Will make the stop and cover up. 14:37 to play in period number 2. Shots now just about equal, 18-15 in favor of Roosevelt. Now Salmona in behind his own net. Will wrap it around the wall. Waterson there on the backhand. Will chip it out to center ice. Apologize to any Cardinal fans that are watching. I got yelled at by my own family in the intermission on how I was saying Louisville. It's not Louisville, apparently. It's Louisville. My apologies. Here's Euler on a 2-on-1 break. Had it knocked off his stick. Kurowski's shot was dulled down. They battle for it in the corner. And cleared out to center ice. Mark Abrego will end up going D-to-D for Salmona. Euler will chip and chase. Pass out up ahead for the Cardinals out of the race, but they would have won the race for icing, so Castle comes out to play it. He'll wrap it around the wall and gets a friendly hop out to the neutral zone. Polar Crozier had a bounce off of his stick. Trying to help out now is Mark Abrego. Got it as far as the blue line before it's taken back over by Andrew Brown. Here comes Brown through the neutral zone. On the far side, holding on to it, looking towards the slot. Had a man driving there, and Andrew Nugent. Nugent couldn't pull the trigger, however. And Drake Adams for the Lakers fails to clear. Nugent had that puck lost in a couple of skates. Once again, the Lakers cannot get it out of the zone. Malcolm shot from the blue line, knocked to the corner by Castle. Crozier this time here on the near side. Had Malcolm all over him, didn't have the time to try to clear. Now he pins it up along the boards, does Crozier. They'll battle along the wall there, right by the door where the referees come out. Sometimes there's a pretty decent divot there where the ice and the boards meet, and I think that's exactly where that puck got stuck as the referee blows the whistle. You'll oftentimes see that the referee will let that play out. They won't blow that whistle down unless somebody's laying on top of the puck and they're worried that they're going to get injured. So you saw right there that that puck probably got stuck in one of the divots along the wall, and the referee wanted to call that dead before anybody ended up losing a skate blade there in the boards. Good break there for the Lakers, though, as they had a couple of tired players on the ice. They were able to get a line change off of that. Fresh legs out as O'Connell sends it to the neutral zone. Picked up here by Morrow of the Cardinals. His dump in goes up and out of play, and we'll get another stoppage and a neutral zone faceoff. These two teams will meet again tomorrow night, once again at 8 o'clock, a little bit later. There's a tournament going on around the Chicagoland area at a lot of the main ice arenas, like the Edge. 200 by 85 tournament. That forced the Lakers to drop the puck a little later than their 7 o'clock normal. I hope you all didn't have an early bedtime planned or anything, because we're going to be going a little later than usual. Poetzinger gets hit in the corner, and he's still battling with the player down there. That's Beeman. Back the other way come the Cardinals. O'Connell takes it off their stick. Poetzinger at the blue line trying to redirect it in. Kruger after it now. Battles away from his check to the backhand. Nice job coming back by Beeman to take that away from Kruger, and it's clear. O'Connell in his own end. D-to-D for Tanner Hallett. Hallett will skate through the neutral zone, drop it off to Danny Bidzach. He's over the line, lets one go off the stick of Beeman. Bidzach holding onto it on the far side, spinning away from a check to the blue line. There's a wrist shot from Lozenak that found shin pads and goes back into Laker territory. Lozenak to Danny Bidzach, who takes a hit, pops the puck up. It's Bird back the other way, shooting, he scores! Robert Bird at another 2-on-1 break, this time with Carl Drew. Tosses it on net, and it deflected, I believe, on its way to the goal. I believe whoever that defenseman was that was back ended up getting a stick on this, and it fooled Harbor Castle. Either that or the puck was on end, either or. But in any case, this is now a tie hockey game, 3-3, just about halfway through the second period. Drew getting the only assist on that goal by Bird. And it's a brand new hockey game. Tides have turned in favor of the Cardinals as Lakers pretty much pushed the pace of play in the entire first period. Here in the second, it's been a little more on the sloppy side. The Cardinals have cashed in on a couple of Lakers mistakes. So it's time for the Lakers to turn the engines back on. Cleared out to the neutral zone where Lozenak controls. He's got Euler up ahead. Finds him in the neutral zone. Bounced over his stick. Martino trying to take over. He overskates. Now the battle comes back into Laker territory. Cameron Morrow ends up getting knocked down, goes into the net, knocking it off. And we're going to get an interference call now on Lozenak, as they say that he is intentionally put that player into the net. So the Lakers, after giving up 2 goals in a row, now will go to the penalty kill. PK is 1 for 2 on the day. Had a very good penalty kill here earlier in the second period. Need another one now. Draw to the right of Castle, won by the Lakers. Clearing attempt by Salmona was knocked down, carried on, and they'll start 3-on-2 back the other way. Martino tosses it toward the goal and wide. Lakers will get set back up. It's Quigley, Martino, Mark Abrego, pardon me, and Mikey Salmona out there for the Lakers. The starting 4. Andrew Murray skating through a couple checks, gets into the line, will drop it off for Malka. Pass out in front. Oh, and a good save made by Castle going back to his right, and it gets to the goal line, and Castle able to sweep it off and hold on. We get some pushing and shoving after the fact. Martino right out in front with Jonathan Patch. That puck was thrown back towards the front of the net, and it got behind Castle, who was able to dive back with the paddle, swipe it off the goal line, and the referee in perfect position was right there to make sure that Castle was able to swipe that away, and it didn't cross over fully. And we're going to go down to 4-on-4 now, as the only penalty is going to go to Helinski for slashing. So that power play lasted all of 34 seconds. And we'll go 4-on-4. We've already gone 4-on-4 once today, and the Lakers were able to cash in on a Jack Quigley goal. Or pardon me, Kevin Euler. That was Kevin Euler's 4-on-4 goal. Lakers will keep out this same foursome of Martino, Quigley, Salmona, and Mark Abrego. Cardinals control off the draw. Then behind for Beeman. He'll set it up and start moving. Beeman dropping it off. Through. Nearly over stick handle there in the neutral zone. Throws it towards the net. Castle there to grab that and hang on. We'll get a face-off in the Lakers zone. 1:06 left to go on the penalty to Lozenak, and 1:41 on the penalty to Helinski. The Lakers will have about 35 seconds of power play time once this Lozenak penalty is over. Off the face-off. Oh, they try to drag it right toward the net off the draw. Long shot from the blue line gets sticked away by Castle. Picked up now by Murray. Around a check, holding onto it, trying to wrap around, and Castle able to get to the far post. Salmona picks up the rebound. Clearing an attempt. Martino able to win the board battle and come back out to the neutral zone. Martino's got a lane to the goal, walks in and fires. Carl Drew able to get a stick on that and knocked it wide. Quigley keeps it in at the blue line. Nice job. Walks to the slot. Quigley lost control of it there in the middle as he ran into Andrew Murray. And back the other way is Brown. He overhandles the puck, and Abrego back the other direction. Leaving it for Hallett. He'll cross over the blue line. 20 seconds left to go on the Laker penalty. Wrist shot from Watterson. Comes back to him. Goes out to the blue line for Hallett. Goes in between him and O'Connell and all the way down. Lakers are going to have to chase after it. O'Connell up ahead for Watterson, as it's now a Laker power play. Cleared up the wall and out by Louisville. Castle there to hold on to it. He'll leave it for Hallett, as this final unit for the Lakers, who will get just about one more chance here on the power play, is Hallett, O'Connell, Euler, Kurowski, and Watterson. There's Watterson getting the puck over the line. He'll throw one on goal, blockered out. Euler with 8 seconds to go on the power play. A cross-ice feed bounces to Coglianese off the bench. He's pinned up along the wall, and it's cleared out to center ice by the Cardinals. Both teams now back at full strength as we get a whistle-stopping play. Offside on the Lakers. And a neutral zone face-off coming up. Pickrell, Coglianese, and Kruger out there with Lopez and Lozanak on the back end. Over halfway through the second period, it's been a 2-goal period for the Louisville Cardinals to tie this game up at 3. They've got it in the offensive zone now. Do the Cardinals pass out in front, goes off of Coglianese. His skate goes right back to him. And a shot by Bird, who's got both of the goals in this period, gets gobbled up by Castle. And both goals for Louisville of the strange variety. The first one looked like Bird wanted to pass it across to the man he was on a 2-on-1 with. Ended up either whiffing on it or didn't get enough on the pass where it came back to him. And he had a wide open net as Castle was trying to slide over to make the stop on the initial pass. And the second one either went off of the defenseman who was covering on the 2-on-1, or the puck rolled up on Bird at the last moment. And in full Harbor Castle entirely, he was expecting that to go to his blocker side. It ended up going to his glove. Crozier battles in the corner, pops out towards the slot. Cleared out of there by the Lakers, and here comes Bowen Lopez jumping up in the play. He and Adams, 2-on-4. Adams will chop this one down low. Goes in behind the net. Lopez throws the body, so does Adams. Lakers trying to get a little physical to get themselves back into this hockey game emotionally. Finally, Adams trying to pull it out from the scrum in behind. Nice job on the back check, able to take that away, but it rolled off the end of his twig. Goes out to the neutral zone. Escapes ahead in the neutral zone. Comes over the line. Fires off the crossbar. Oh, Adams, a wicked wrister coming right over the line. It beat Merrick and hit the bar. Zima out in front. No one home for Louisville. And here comes Quigley. He'll wrap it around the wall. Bazacha's waiting here on the near side towards the net. Kick save made. Oh, Quigley had his back turned the other way. Otherwise, that was right on his stick. Here's Salmona. Mike Abrego out to the blue line for Quigley. Pass was red, and Nestis back the other way. Lakers chasing after. Nestis on the backhand. Kick save made. Rebound. Oh, and Mike Abrego. Mark Abrego might have saved the goal. The net was wide open, and Abrego was able to get a leg in the way. And we stay tied. Here's Quigley. Out to the blue line. Salmona will dump it in. Brendan Helinski coming out of his own end. Will bank it off the base of the wall. Up ahead for Murray. Around it, check. Couldn't get the shot off. Now Salmona for the Lakers. Knocked down off the puck. There's going to be a penalty. Cross-checking call coming to the Cardinals. First full power play for the Lakers since the first period, and they cashed in on it. Only had 35 seconds to work with on their power play here in the second. So they'll start out with Crozier, Mike Abrego, Jack Quigley, Bowen Lopez, and Kevin Euler. That clearing attempt ends up going out of play. Faceoff will stay inside the Cardinal zone. For the Cardinals, to be Bowers and Nugent, along with Beeman and Brown to start off the penalty kill. Off the face-off, goes to Brown. He'll take it. and he'll clear. Lopez will set up behind the net, get the breakout moving. Out they come as a unit. Pass comes to the near side here for Euler. Has knocked off the puck. It forced the Lakers outside, and it's cleared down by Andrew Nugent. Lopez back. Half a minute gone already on this Laker power play. Pass was nearly intercepted. Nice job stepping up there by Abrego. Jonathan Patch got the stick in the lane, and Abrego stepped up and knocked him down to deny him a chance to get it on his goalie. Quigley leaves it for Abrego. Back to Quigley in behind. Has Lopez here at the point. We'll find him. Lopez to an open corner. Crozier chasing after it. He finds it in behind. Polar Crozier to Euler at the blue line. Back to Crozier. In the corner. Up top for Euler. Looking for some bodies in front. Lopez walks to the middle to Euler. He's got some space to walk in. Euler down low. Looking to Crozier in front. Couldn't get it from the backhand to the forehand. And it's cleared out of there by the Cardinals. Great play. Good setup there by the Lakers, but unable to finish. Look out here as there's a turnover in the Lakers zone. Lakers will take it back. Drake Adams will hold on to it. Go cross ice for Martino. 20 seconds left to go on the Laker power play. Martino curling away from a check. Protecting the puck. Still holding on to it. Will finally release it to Adams in behind. Adams knocked into the wall. Good board battle ensuing here. Comes out to the blue line for Waterson. Nearly overskated. Moves it to Adams as we get back to 5-on-5. Adams a wrister. Gets blocked. Martino picks up the rebound. His shot saved me. That one off the side of the head, it looked like, of the goaltender Merrick, as it bounces off the wall now. Comes right back to him, and he drops his stick to cover it with his blocker. Talked about those bad angle shots at the first period. That was one there from Blake Martino from the goal line. Great idea just to throw that puck on net and see what happens. Sometimes it goes off the side of the goalie's head and in. Lakers get an offensive zone face-off after a power play that struggled to get set up at the very beginning, but ended up turning out a couple really nice chances. Just couldn't cash in. Cardinals clearing attempt. Hallett keeps it in. Sent into the corner. Drew gave it up. Kruger in front. Pass off the stick of Pickrell. And Louisville clears. O'Connell. It's Coglianese at the blue line. It's about as far as he was able to go. Now Hallett here on the near side will drop it off for O'Connell, who's got some space, gets around to check O'Connell. Walking in over the line. Pass out in front. Bouncing around. Good stick there from Merrick. He's able to knock that pass down. Didn't allow it to get towards the slot. Dumped in by the Cardinals. Tanner Hallett will skate out to center cross ice feet, deflected off of a stick, ends up into the hands of Nico Anestis. He'll throw one on goal. Castle is able to make the save and reel in the rebound. As we get a stoppage of play with the buck 14 left to go in period 2. We're tied at 3. Late here in the second period. Lakers come out with one of their top lines, Bizach, Quigley, and Abrego. Both the Abregos out there. This one's Mark. He'll start moving out towards the neutral zone with stick checked. Bizach is able to carry on. Danny Bizach holding on to the circle. Throws one towards the net, goes up over the goal. Out to center ice it comes. Here's Drew, or pardon me, that's Zima. He'll pull up, try to get around Mark Abrego, could not, and he'll start the rush back the other way. 3-on-2 with Quigley and Mike Abrego. Here's Mike holding on to it on the backhand. We'll drop it off, try to throw that pass out in front for Quigley. Didn't get any wood on it. Out to the blue line, Salmona for Mark Abrego. Back to Salmona up top. Salmona shooting, never made it through. Half a minute to go in the period. Clearing attempt held in by Mark Abrego. Cross ice feed to Bizach on the far wall. Bizach, Salmona, Down to Mike Abrego, turnaround shot, bounces off the wall and behind. Quigley's there to pick it up. In front, bounces right through a couple of skates. Ends up to Mark Abrego. Great shift to end the period. In front, Quigley couldn't get that one home on the redirect. Clearing attempt, bounces over the stick of Salmona to center ice. And that is how the second period will conclude. So a bit of a tougher period overall for the Roosevelt Lakers, but a very good ending shift there to get some momentum heading into the locker rooms. They were buzzing all around the offensive zone, moving the puck, moving themselves as well. We heard Billy Carr earlier in the game telling his team, I want to see movement in the offensive zone. He got it in that last shift, but 3 threes you scored through 2. We'll be back with the third period of play right after this. You're watching Roosevelt Lakers hockey.
From our first day, Roosevelt has been a place for all. Before it was widely accepted, Dr. Edward Sparling stood for social justice. When asked to take a racial and religious census, he simply responded, "We don't count that way." And 62 faculty members walked out with him. Together, they founded Roosevelt University, a place for you to belong.
Welcome to our tour of Roosevelt University's athletics and performing arts spaces. We'll cover the dedicated rehearsal and performance venues in the auditorium, as well as the Lillian and Larry Goodman Center, our athletics facility. The Barry Crown Fitness Center is located on the 5th floor. It is available to all Roosevelt University students, as well as faculty and staff. There are men and women's locker rooms and a family locker room. The fitness center includes treadmills, stairmasters, stationary bikes, ellipticals, circuit machines, and free weights, as well as a fitness studio. The fitness floor is raised to minimize sound and vibrations below from the exercise bikes and treadmill. The Lillian and Larry Goodman Center is home to our men's and women's basketball and volleyball teams. Roosevelt is the only university downtown with an athletic facility. All of our teams use the space to train and practice, and open gym hours are open to all RU students. This is Roosevelt's multi-purpose gym. The retractable bleachers seat 500 people. There are 6 retractable basketball hoops and 2 courts for simultaneous practice sessions. Ropes on either side of the gym connect nets in order to create indoor batting cages for softball or baseball practice. There's also a turf that rolls out. Fun fact, in 2012 and 13, our women's basketball team qualified for nationals after only 3 seasons of play. It just goes to show how dedicated and passionate our student athletes are, as well as our coaches and athletic staff. Roosevelt's Chicago College of Performing Arts is located in the Auditorium Building. Built in 1890, the building was originally a multi-use building including a hotel, 136 offices and businesses, and the 3,700-seat Auditorium Theater. The Auditorium Theater hosts dance companies, Broadway musicals, concerts, and community events. Some famous acts that have played there include Elton John, Trace Adkins, and recently Chicago's own Chance the Rapper. RU students can receive 2 student rush tickets for most auditorium performances as little as $15. RU graduation is also held in the theater. The Auditorium Building is also home to dedicated practice and performance spaces for students in the music and theater conservatories. Don's Hall used to serve as another banquet hall for the VIP hotel guests. Today it is used for special events, lectures, ceremonies, recitals, auditions, and receptions. The entire room underwent significant restoration to return it to its original splendor. The O'Malley Theater seats 240 people and is used for major student productions, usually 6 to 8 per year. Students at RU can get free tickets for most shows. We hope to see you catching a sporting event or performance at Roosevelt real soon. Welcome to our Residence Life Tour of Roosevelt University. In this video, we'll visit the student residences in Roosevelt's Wabash Building, starting at the 14th floor and working our way up. The Wabash Building is 469 feet tall, making it the 6th tallest university building in the world and the 2nd tallest university building in the country. Floors 14 through 31 of the Wabash Building are primarily for residential life. Suites can house anywhere from 4 to 7 residents. Not every room is the same size or layout. Some suites have a quad room and 3 private rooms. Each room has heating, air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and cable. Roosevelt University does have a residency requirement for the first 2 years for incoming freshmen, but there are certain exemptions. National studies show that students that live on campus are more successful academically and feel more connected to the university. The 14th floor houses the Office of Residence Life, a student lounge, recreation room, kitchen, and student mailboxes. The rec room is an open student lounge where students are free to spend time. There are 2 TVs on the 14th floor. Both have free access to Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime Video for students. Campus safety is present 24/7 on the 14th floor and the 1st floor. Students must use their RU ID cards to get into the residence halls and to access individual floors. This is an added layer of security for our students. The laundry room on the 15th floor includes 20 washing machines and 22 stackable dryers. Laundry is free for all residents. On floors 20 through 31, there is a study room on the east side of the floor. This study and meeting area is open to all students on the floor. From here, you can see landmarks such as Buckingham Fountain, the museum campus, Navy Pier, and Grant Park. On the 2nd floor of the Wabash Building, the McCormick Dining Center can seat up to 300 guests. There are a variety of food stations, like organic food, Italian, American, and vegetarian, and a smart market that offers a wide selection of bottled beverages and snack items, as well as health and beauty products. A meal plan is required for students living in the Wabash Building. The all-you-care-to-eat plan includes 14 meals a week and 500 flex dollars per year. You'll love living in the Wabash Building. Welcome to the Student Involvement Tour at Roosevelt University. In this video, we'll explore the spaces on campus for more than 50 student organizations. The Chicago campus is in the South Loop Educational Corridor, where about 60,000 students attend school. Roosevelt's total enrollment is about 4,500 students. 60% are undergraduate students, while the remaining 40% are graduate or doctoral students. Not only are there endless opportunities for students in a city like Chicago, but history has literally happened right outside our doors. In 1968, Roosevelt students and professors left class in order to experience history in the making during the Democratic National Convention riots. Similarly, in 2008, students saw history being made as President Obama gave his election victory speech in Grant Park. Just as exciting are the different festivals that take place in Grant Park, such as the Jazz Fest, Blues Fest, Lollapalooza, and the Taste of Chicago. The first 5 floors of the Wabash Building are reserved for student services, the dining center, fitness center, and student life activities. The 3rd floor is a common lounge and social space for students and student resources. It includes a pool table, foosball table, and a TV lounge with Netflix. It also has spaces for different student organizations. The Center for Student Involvement supports student organizations, leadership development, community service, and new student orientation. There are over 50 active organizations to get involved in, including academic and cultural clubs, as well as Greek life. The Center for Student Involvement also facilitates leadership workshops and programming, which is a great opportunity for students to develop their leadership skills. Roosevelt University reinstated its athletic program in 2010. These teams currently compete in the NAIA Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference. These teams include men and women's basketball, baseball, softball, men and women's soccer, men and women's tennis, men and women's volleyball, men's golf, men and women's cross country and track and field, football, men and women's bowling, and men and women's ice hockey. Roosevelt also offers intramural and recreation programs that are open to students, faculty, and staff. Other opportunities include competitive cheerleading and dance, performing arts, and the emerging realm of esports. We can't wait for you to get involved. Welcome to our tour of the Roosevelt University Academic and Academic Support Spaces. The Chicago campus has two academic buildings, the Auditorium Building and the Wabash Building. We call the Wabash Building a vertical campus because the offices, classrooms, and residence halls are in one tall building in downtown Chicago. The Wabash Building is split into three different sections. Floors 6 through 13 of the Wabash Building are for academic classrooms, laboratories, and offices. Some classrooms seat close to 80 people, while other classrooms in this building can hold anywhere from 20 to 105 students. Our student-to-faculty ratio is 11 to 1, which means you will have the chance to get to know all of your professors individually. Lecture halls are used mostly for general education classes. As you take more advanced courses in your major, you are more likely to see smaller class sizes for a more intimate experience. Classes are taught by professors, not teaching assistants. 85% of our faculty have the highest degree in their field. They also conduct research or are still active professionals. The Walter E. Heller College of Business resides on the 10th, 11th, and 12th floors. The floors contain faculty and classrooms, including a trading floor classroom. Floors 7, 8, and 9 are devoted to science education and research, housing state-of-the-art modern laboratories. These include 3 labs for faculty and student research in biology and chemistry, 6 teaching labs for biology, chemistry, and physics, a tissue culture lab, and a microscopy lab and support facilities. The 3rd floor houses the Office of Career Development. This is a great research for future career opportunities, including internships, resume writing, mock interviews, and job search. The Wabash Building received Gold LEED certification from the U.S. Green Building Council. Some of the eco-friendly features include a bike storage facility on the 1st floor, green roofs with native plants on 5 floors, and construction material that are 20% recycled. The 2nd floor of the Wabash Building connects to the 2nd floor of the Auditorium Building by a bridge. As you walk across the bridge to the Auditorium Building, you are traveling back in time 130 years. The Auditorium Building, built in 1890, was designed by architects Dankmar Adler and Louis Sullivan. The building is on the National Register of Historic Places, which means it will always remain in its original condition, just updated. The original design was a multi-use building including a hotel.
You back to the Edge Ice Arena here in Bensenville, Illinois, as it is a 3-3 hockey game through 40 minutes of play. Let's take a look at what happened there in that second period. The shots now are 24-21 in favor of the Lakers. Outshot in that period 12-8. Power plays each at 1 for 3. Only 2 goals in that second period coming in thanks to Robert Bird, who picks up his 2nd and 3rd goals of the season. Last year with the Division II team, Bird had 19 goals and 14 assists for 33 points, so he can really rack them up. Having himself a heck of a hockey game here today. Lakers ended on a really good shift in that second period. They had the Bazach line out there. They were wheeling and dealing, throwing pucks on net, moving themselves as well, not staying stagnant in the offensive zone. Had a body going to the net, Jack Quigley, who redirected a shot. Just unfortunately did not get past the goaltender, Merrick. But a really good shift to end that second period and send the Lakers into the third. And they are going to have a power play, it looks like, to start out the third period. I wonder what happened there. Well, Lakers starting out. It's actually going to be a 5-on-3 power play. So something must have happened after the fact that sent the Cardinals down 2 men. And I will say, heading off was Brian Graham, the head coach of the Louisville Cardinals, and he was none too pleased with the officiating staff. And I'm guessing it's going to have something to do with whatever these 2 penalties are. So it's going to be a bench minor that puts him down 5-on-3. So great chance now for the Lakers to really do some damage. They've got Bazac, Martino, Watterson, Karowski, and Crozier out there to start out. Here's Bazac in over the line. He'll hold on to it, drop it out to Martino at the blue line. Martino for Karowski, back to Martino. Here's Bazac at the near point. Bazac trying to go down low, but a stick in the lane there of Noah Malcolm knocked it away, and Watterson is forced to take it out to center ice and wheel it right back in onside of the Lakers. A wrist shot into the stomach of Merrick, and he'll hang on. 5-on-3 situation. Talked about it a couple of times in this hockey game about how Lakers want to be moving themselves in the offensive zone. This is exactly where you want to do that. In the 5-on-3, you want to try and confuse the penalty kill, get them out of position, and give yourself a lot of space. There's already going to be a lot of space out there as this clearing attempt gets held at the blue line. Lopez will go over for Mike Abrego, back to Lopez. He's got Euler here along the wall, needs some help. Lopez keeps the play alive, sends it into the corner. Quigley is there. He'll hit Euler at the blue line, hopped over his stick and a race for the puck now. Brown after it. And will spin away from a check. Brown now driving towards the bottom of the circles, towards the goal. Finally was checked enough to be stripped of the puck, and back comes Kevin Euler. Around one check to the slot, shoots, he scores! A hat trick for Kevin Euler. It's a power play strike, and the Lakers will stay on the power play. They take a 4-3 lead. Kevin Euler just overpowering the goaltender Merrick with that wrist shot, who got just enough of it to get a piece and knock it up into the top corner of the net. Lakers still have a 5-on-4 for the next 30 seconds. Puck gets dumped in. After it there is Carl Drew. Clearing attempt, bounces out to center ice. Here's a breakaway. Andrew Murray in. Big save by Castle, cutting down the 5-hole. Owen Lopez settles it down. Abrego. He's in for Quigley. He's checked by 2 different Cardinals. And it gets cleared out to the neutral zone. We get a whistle as the net gets knocked off its pegs back in the Louisville zone. So with 3 seconds to go on the Laker power play, they'll get an offensive zone draw and get back to their normal units. O'Connell and Hallett at the blue line. Watterson, Crozier, and Karowski up front. Bit of a question as far as where this faceoff should be. It's going to stay inside the Cardinal zone. Draw going to go to the right-hand side of Merrick. Watterson on the draw here up against Zima. Ends up going to Zima, who clears it out to center ice. Anestis is there as we're back to full strength. Just out of the box is Cameron Morrow. Wrist shot from the wall. Goes up into the air, out of play, into the netting behind. So we get a whistle. Lakers stay out on the ice, unable to change it. Went off of their stick. Oh, they are going to get a line change. Kevin Euler hops out for Crozier. Off the draw. Controlled by Tanner Hallett, captain of this Roosevelt squad. Player attempt goes out to the blue line. Held in. Watterson now has it for Roosevelt. Carried in behind his own net. Slided up the wall to Hallett. He'll come cross ice now to Kevin Mueller. The hat-trick man throwing it towards the net. Goes up off the glove of Merrick. Wraps around the glass and out into Laker territory. Tanner Hallett up the wall for Kurowski. Bounces off of his skates into the hands of Nugent. His shot towards the net was blocked. And Hallett on a backhand feed right onto the tape of Euler with a stride. Euler to the backhand. Oh, and a good poke check. Noah Merrick not allowing Kevin Euler any more chances than he could get. Good move on the poke check there by Merrick. Interception here in the neutral zone by Pickrell. And we're going to get a too many men call on the Cardinals. They're trying to change. The hard forecheck there from Tim Pickrell forced the Cardinals to play the puck as they were trying to change. Had too many players on the ice, and the Lakers back to the power play. Power play 2 for 5 in today's game. Face-off going to go to the left of Merrick. The Quigley unit with Euler out there. There's Quigley in this. He scores! What a missile! Keeping at the blue line by Kevin Euler. He found Quigley right in the slot, who unleashed an absolute rocket from in between the hash marks up over the blocker of Merrick. Lakers have a 5-3 lead. And those 2 goals, the 5 goals coming from 2 guys. 3 of them from Euler, 2 from Quigley. In the Lakers zone, Danny Bezach turned the puck over. Cardinals unable to get a shot on net. Bounces around there in the slot. It's Andrew Brown. Couldn't get the ears on it. Finally, Bezach backhands it to Mark Abrego in the neutral zone. He's stick checked there by Nardi. Now Lopez from his belly needs help pushing that forward. It's Bezach. He comes back to Quigley. Quigley to Abrego in the corner. Blue line for Lozanak. His wrist shot was hoping for Bezach there at the far post. Taken out by the Cardinals. Dumping comes right back to Andrew Murray. He tries to drag his way to the net. Was stick checked on his way through. Bezach in the corner. Fighting off a check. One-handing that out to the blue line. Held in by Beeman. Wrapped around the wall to the far side. Brown has Lopez all over him. Lopez now pinning the puck along the wall. Takes a hit. There's going to be another power play for the Lakers. Lopez trying to pin that puck along the wall. Ended up taking a cross check. And Louisville will continue their trips to the sin bin. The Lakers scored just 6 seconds into their last power play, which is working at 50% right now. Watterson, Adams, Kurowski with Martino and Bezach, all forwards out there for the Lakers. Here's Martino at the blue line, dropping it off to Kurowski. Lucas Kurowski to the far point. Watterson spinning away from a check. Dropping it to Kurowski. Cross ice for Martino, the one-timer. He yielded it to the corner. Taken back by Josh Nardi. He'll backhand this one into Lakers territory. Watterson will leave it. Martino. Now Danny Badzach in his 5th year at Roosevelt. Badzach holding on to it. Will go to Watterson at the blue line. Across to Martino. They score! He whipped on the first one. Didn't miss on the second try. Blake Martino makes it 6-3. Timeout being called by the Louisville Cardinals. Oh, with 14:33 left to play in the third, the Lakers have really opened things up, and a lot in part, all in part actually, due to a phenomenal power play, which is scored on all 3 of their attempts here in the third period, starting out with Kevin Euler. He was able to get his hat-trick goal, make it 4-3. Next up was Jack Quigley picking up his second of the game, a rocket of a wrist shot from right in between the circles. That made it 5-3, and just now, Blake Martino picking up his 5th goal of the year. Was pointless in his last 5 games, is finally back on the board. Had missed on a one-time attempt just about 10 seconds before that shot. Got another opportunity and didn't miss. Four for 7 on the power play are the Lakers. Here comes Louisville. Linsky holding on to it, backdoor feed as the man was driving toward that post was Tyler Detrow. He was well covered. Sent into the Laker net. We'll get a whistle. Stopping play as you see that net knocked off its hinges. Believe the draw will stay inside the Lakers zone. No, it will come outside. Guess they determined that the Cardinals were the ones that knocked it off. After this timeout for Louisville, want to make sure you come back with your best shift of the hockey game. They really put themselves in the back seat with these penalties here in the third period. That timeout there, I'm sure, was to settle the guys down and get back to what was working in the second period. Let's get back to playing hockey. And if you're the Lakers, don't change anything. Keep on playing hard, because playing hard is what's getting you these power play attempts. You're outworking the Cardinals, and they're starting to get frustrated, and they're taking penalties. Mark Abrego will dump and chase. And behind the Cardinal net, he knocks his man down. Mike Abrego picks it up. Spinning away from a check and then thrown to the ground by Helinski. Ducey will carry on. He'll come up the wall on the near side to Bird. His cross-ice pass out to Malcolm in the neutral zone. Malcolm crossing over the blue line. Well checked there by 5 white sweaters who were unable to clear the puck in the first opportunity. Second try by Mark Abrego goes off the glass and out. Dumped in by Adams. Taken back by Yates. He'll chip it in. O'Connell, the first one back there for the Lakers. He'll come up the wall. Held it at the blue line here for Drew. His wrist shot kicked out by Castle. Held in. Holton around one check. Then was stick check by Fitzach at the blue line. Bouncing puck finally settled down in the neutral zone by the Cardinals. Beeman. No backhanded in. Adams. Backhand outlet pass up ahead for Quigley. Quigley holding onto it as Fitzach going to the net. So is Adams. That pass out towards the slot was blocked. Carried on by Holton in behind. He nearly lost control of the puck. Helping out is Josh Nardi. He'll come through the neutral zone. Holding onto it at the bottom of the circles. Wrap around, try in front. They score! What a play that was by Josh Nardi to hold on to the puck and send it around to Bryce Yates, who is right there in the slot. He puts it home to make it 6-4. With 12:01 on the clock. Bryce Yates with his third goal of the season, but that play was all made thanks to brilliant play by Nardi. Cardinals going right back to work. Up ahead, Kurowski takes the puck out to the neutral zone. Pass up ahead here for Kevin Euler. Euler with the hot stick. Go to Kurowski. Could not get the pass through. Now Waterson finds an open man. It's Lopez. Puck was tumbling. Bounces up off the blocker of Merrick. Carried on by Anestis. He'll move it up to Morrow. Morrow through the neutral zone 1-on-4 as the rest of his team was changing. Now Lozenak carefully will move it out. Euler skating through the neutral zone. As Waterson with him, Euler a shot going into the glove of the goaltender Merrick, who's forced to play it here by the referees. Up ahead, Drew around a checker. Pardon me, that's Anestis. Able to battle through one hit. Move it along for Helinski in the corner. Now Nardi out to the blue line. D-to-D they go. Ducey, wrist shot. Goes right through the crease and out the other side. Brown keeps it in. Andrew Brown to the slot. Castle with a save. And as he was pushing off that post, ended up knocking it off its moorings, and we'll get a whistle. Stopping play. Face-off will stay in the Lakers zone with 10:35 left to play in the period. 6-4 in favor of the Lakers. It's been a 4-goal third period. Here's a chance out in front. Good stop there by Castle. Andrew Nugent found himself all alone right there at the bottom of the circle. Threw a shot on goal, and Castle shut down the 5-0. That's a huge stop. With 10.5 left to play here in the third period. Keeps it a 2-goal lead. Check there in the corner. Lately, Cardinals able to keep the puck in. Helinski's shot on net, kicked out by Castle. Now Hallett pinned up along the wall. O'Connell backhands it out to center ice. Brendan Helinski will hit the far wall, and Andrew Murray back to Helinski. With some speed, Brown around a check. He'll cross over the blue line. Brown waiting for the play to develop. It's Murray. Stopped by Castle. Good rush from the Cardinals, who are starting to turn it on in the latter stages of the third period. Andrew Murray with a lane to the goal, and once again, Harbor Castle able to shut down the 5-0. Draw to the left of Castle. Puglianese able to win that draw. Lopez in the far corner will come up for Crozier. He can't get it out. Held in by the Cardinals. Lozenak Behind his own net, was knocked off the puck. Now Pickrell, backhanded just out to center ice. Dumped right back in by the Cardinals. Bowen Lopez, using the net as a shield, will give himself a little space. Drop it off to Lozenak, his cross-ice feed for Kruger just off the end of his stick. And cleared out of there by Noah Merrick to the neutral zone where Lozenak will control. Pass for Pickrell bounced off of his stick, and now Malcolm back the other way. Noah Malcolm shooting, shrugged off by Castle. Got just enough of it with the shoulder. Clearing attempt, held in by Drew at the point. His long shot tipped on the way through, just wide. Now back at the blue line again. Drew, keep the play alive. It's Malcolm to the middle. He leaves it. Nardi, wrap it around. Taken away by Marcabrego, who's got some room to skate. Marcabrego over the blue line. Brego, tried to make a move towards the middle of the ice. Lost control of the puck, and it's cleared, but back into the Lakers' hands. Carl Drew will dump it in. Marcabrego holding on in behind the net. Salmona up ahead for Quigley. He's 1-on-3. He's able to break around one check, tossing it towards the goal where Micah Brego was driving. Couldn't get the puck there. And Louisville back. Tim Holton has some space, throws one on goal, and Castle able to gobble that up and hang on. 7:46 left to play here in the third period. 6-4 in favor of the Lakers. And popped off with 3 power play goals in this third period. There's a turnaround shot from Morrow that gets knocked aside by Castle. Pass comes right through the crease and out the other side. Looks like Castle got a piece of that as well. Nardi at the blue line, throws it to the corner, comes right back to him. Josh Nardi around the check of Kurowski, holding onto it toward the goal. Tip, big save, rebound. Oh, Castle got a second one there. 2 huge stops there from Harvard Castle, both on Jacob Zima, right at the top of the crease. Josh Nardi looking for his second brilliant assist of the period. Did a nice shimmy shake there at the blue line, got around to check it, threw the puck on goal. First stop was made by Castle on the redirect, and he was able to find the second one as well. Great shot off the draw. It's blocked to the corner. Pass out in front. Castle had to be careful with that and make sure he didn't knock it into his own goal. So the tides have certainly turned here in the hockey game, where shots are now 35-32 in favor of the Cardinals. Here's Adams off the faceoff. Will come out to the neutral zone. Adams faking it around a check. Tried to drive towards the goal. Could not get it there. And it's cleared out by the Cardinals. Jacob Zemo was stick-tacked at the blue line. Martino back the other way. Martino's got one of the goals here in the third. That's blockered out. Bounces towards the slot. Backhand feed. Stop. Rebound. Cleared out of there by the Cardinals and all the way down. This one will go the length for icing with 6:40 left to play in the period. Lakers will send out some fresh legs. Poglianace, Pickrell, and Kruger with O'Connell and Hallett at the blue line. There's Hallett there. His shot towards the net was blocked on its way through. Laid there loose in the slot, cleared away by the Cardinals. Good poke check there by O'Connell, anticipating that pass. Takes it away. Poglianace unable to get further than the blue line. Olinsky settling it down. Will throw it all the way up for Nugent, but it was stuck in his midsection. He couldn't find it. Murray has Poglianace and O'Connell all over him. Couldn't get much further than the top of the blue. And the Lakers Kruger will flip it into the offensive zone. Beeman starting the rush for the Cardinals. They'll drop it back. Murray unable to get it over the blue line. Quigley takes it back. He's got Micah Brago with him. Quigley, good poke check there by Drew as Quigley was getting ready to make a move to the outside. Drew didn't allow it. Here's a Brago back to Quigley. He leaves it, but Zacha wrist shot from the circles off the blocker of Merrick and out of play. Danny Bedzacha with a assist in this period. Might be in the longest goalless drought of his career. He's got 55 goals in his long career here with the Roosevelt Lakers. Has certainly been the offensive spark plug in years past, but right now he's got 0 goals in his last 8 games played. So although the goals might not be there, he's played well for sure, especially in this hockey game. He set up a few chances and had a couple shots on net as well. So they'll come for Danny. There's no doubt about that. Wrist shot from Mark Abrego deflects out of play. Nearing the 5-minute mark of the third period. Want to keep an eye out for the goaltender Merrick for Louisville. Only down 2 here. Curious to see how aggressive Coach Brian Graham is going to end up getting here. What a keep in by Abrego. He'll hold on to a walk-in and shoot one that's kicked out by Merrick. Karowski gets a stick on that to knock it to the corner. Nardi will end up getting it out to the neutral zone. Picked up here by Robert Bird. Will drop it off, goes right to the stick of Euler, however. And he comes out to center ice, 3-on-2 with Karowski and Watterson. Euler holding onto it. For Karowski in the slot, well covered by Malcolm, who goes up off the glass and out to the neutral zone. Sent in deep by the Cardinals, icing waved off. Martino just off the bench will hit Karowski in the neutral zone. Karowski towards the net, knocked away by Merrick. Cleared out by the Cardinals for Lozenak here at his own blue line. Hallett, cross-ice feed intended for Crozier, ended up deflecting off of a leg. Comes right back to Hallett. This time he hits Martino in the neutral zone. Martino around one check, tried to get it to the forehand, rolled off his stick. And Holinsky in behind his own goal line will start moving back for the Cardinals. Holinsky will protect the puck from Lozenak. Backhanded out front, goes to the blue line. Long snapshot from Susie. Goes off the skates of Adams, and he comes back the other way. Adams dipping the shoulder, shoots and scores! Drake Adams using that big frame, hit the shoulder down and threw one right in between the legs of Noah Merrick. The Lakers with their first even strength goal of the period, make it 7-4. Drake Adams with his 5th goal of the year. Another whistle. Martino, a 2-point hockey game. He gets the assist on that goal. The Lakers get a little more breathing room, but you certainly don't want to take your foot off the gas pedal in this hockey game. Turn your head for 2 seconds and there's 2 more goals up on the board. As we get a whistle, I believe a hand pass called on the Lakers, so faceoff will come all the way back into their end with 3:19 to go on the clock. Draw off to the right-hand side of Harbor Castle. Off the face-off, try to drag move there was Noah Malcolm, but he lost control of the puck, and it's 3-on-2 for the Lakers. Here's Quigley throwing it towards the goal, but missed it wide. Taken back by Louisville. Cross ice feet bouncing off the wall. Malcolm walking and firing one, shrugged out by Castle with the blocker. Harbor Castle has been very strong here in this third period. Only one goal given up. Andy Benzaz around to check. Gets in over the blue line, holding on to it, crossing the far side, throws one on goal, bounces up into the air, lays in the slot. Abrego a hack at it, ends up going to the corner where Quigley battles. Clearing attempt for the Cardinals goes off the glove of O'Connell. He'll send it right back into Cardinal territory. Line change for the Lakers. Salmona gets it as far as the opposite blue line. Turn right back. Nico Anestis will turn and throw it into an open corner. O'Connell there. Karowski backhand pass ends up going right to the Cardinals. Anestis. He's got it now on the far wall. Anestis has Karowski all over him. Salmona knocks Anestis to the ground, but still the Lakers can't clear. Comes right back to Anestis. He's got a magnet in his pocket or something. Hit the corner, sends one of the Cardinal players down. He's injured. It's Cameron Morrow. It comes all the way back into Cardinal territory, and we get a whistle stopping play. There's a big collision there in the corner. I'm a bit shielded up here in the broadcast booth, but looked like the player Morrow ended up going into the boards in a bit of an awkward angle. Trainer is out there for the Cardinals. He's got the player on his back now, and it looks like he's kind of cradling his arm a little bit, so maybe just kind of folded that arm a bit of a funky way. Obviously, you don't want to speculate until you know exactly what's going on, but currently he's in a seated position and is able to get up under his own power. And now skate off towards the bench. Bit of a conversation being had there by the captain of the Cardinals with the officiating staff. That's Brendan Helinski, trying to see exactly what had happened there and if he thought the officiating staff thought that there might have been a penalty on the play, but it is deemed not. And Morrow will have a seat on the bench. Draw will come all the way back into the Cardinal zone, as that is where the puck was when the whistle went. About a minute and a half left to play here in the hockey game. Lakers win this draw. Goes out to O'Connell at the blue line. He'll send it to an open wall. Karowski lost it, gets wrapped around to Salmona here at the blue line. A bouncing puck on net is stopped and held by Noah Merrick, and he'll hang on. Once again, the faceoff will go to the right of Noah Merrick. Draw one to the wall by the Lakers. There's Mike Abrego battling around the check of Ducey. He'll pull it off the wall, runs into a couple players, still has control of the puck though. Now hits O'Connell at the blue line. Crozier pinned up by Helinski. Mike Abrego able to protect the puck, looking towards the slot for Martino. Cleared away from him by Helinski, and out of the Cardinals. Pass misfired, goes all the way down, just wide of the Laker net. Icing waved off. We're under a final minute to play in regulation as Crozier is shot towards the goal, blocked by Helinski. A battle for it there in the corner. Helinski able to kick to the stick. Kick off Crozier. Start moving out towards the neutral zone. That puck in the skates of Andrew Murray, pulled out by Hallett. He nearly overskates in his own zone. And Martino playing it careful. He'll bounce it out to center ice. Right back is Andrew Murray. He'll drop it to the blue line, and Andrew Nugent. Now Helinski's shot into the stomach of Arbor Castle. And he hangs on. Shot number 38 of the hockey games against Castle. And of those 38, 17 of them here in the third period. He's only given up one goal. Just a wrist shot off the draw, goes wide. Bounces around to Ethan Ducey. He can't do anything with it. Puck winds down, and the Lakers win. They snapped their 5-game losing streak, improved their record to 5-6 on the season. Louisville Cardinals will drop to 10-6-1, and their losing streak extends to 3 games. Very big performance by a couple of guys on the Lakers as they needed to start putting some pucks in the back of the net. Kevin Unler got himself a hat trick, goals 4, 5, and 6 on the season. Jack Quigley got 2 of his own with number 4 and number 5. And Blake Martino gets his 5th in the year. Drake Adams also picking up his 5th of the season as well. Arbor Castle finishes the game with 34 stops en route to his 4th victory of the season. But the real story tonight was the power play for Roosevelt. 4 for 7 in the hockey game. Cardinals really kind of shooting themselves in the foot, specifically in the third period. It'll be interesting to see exactly what tomorrow's game brings as far as the penalties go and some of the leftover emotion from this hockey game. Next game will be tomorrow, as I said, against the same Louisville Cardinals at 8 o'clock here at the Edge Ice Arena. You'll have Tom Westenfeld back in the booth, so it'll be back to normal. And I appreciate you all sticking around for this hockey game with me today. Once again, my name's Andy Poetzinger, filling in for the great Tom Westenfeld, and happy to do it again whenever needed. Well, for the final score, the Lakers win it by a score of 7-4. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast as well as the outcome. My name's Andy Poetzinger, signing off. Good night, everybody.